All my Sith homies, get ready to turn on this console. All right, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new Leviathan, the likely requirements, how you should be preparing, how many crystals should you keep in the bank, and getting into a speculation as to what I think the new upcoming ships are going to be for this new Leviathan fleet. So gently press that like button and let's get to having a good old time. I want to say before we get into this video is not for the faint of heart. If you're someone that does not like paywalls, this is probably just not the game for you. So let's set the stage before we get too far into this. Baseline things we know. Darth Revan commanding the Leviathan, still a bit questionable, you know, if you ask me. But I know exactly why that Revan's the pilot for the Leviathan and not Malik. Stay tuned. We know that the Sith Fury class interceptor is gonna be required, specifically confirmed, required for the Leviathan, and likely some Relic 9s as we're gonna discuss. It's gonna be a steep chunky bullet requirement. You guys kept saying, I want more Old Republic. I want more Old Republic, Arnold. Well, now it's time to pay the bill. And one more thing we have to set the stage with. It's been confirmed that 2 more Sith ships are coming, and we're gonna have them before you even unlock this baby. And now I want to start our fruitful, productive conversation talking about those 2 Sith ships. So when ships come to Galaxy Heroes, generally there's not a marquee event. They're inside of these chase events, galactic chase events, and we're going to make some assumptions based off the previous galactic chase for the TIE Defender. Amazing ship. I'd say better than some Conquest ships as of recently, and was very pleasant to farm. A lot of people got that ship basically to 7 stars for nearly free. On my free-to-play account, I got the TIE Defender to like almost 6 stars for free. I didn't have to spend a single crystal on packs. It was great. But what I want to talk about is this lovely post right here by Eggnards. I don't want to give too much advice onto what characters, the gear, and relic. We'll speculate as to what I think we're going to get from those requirements and characters and ships. But this, I think, is reasonable advice to give. And I want to put this out there. I understand Conquest sucks. Welcome to the club, buddy. Get in line. I was here first. Well, to be fair, I loved Conquest at first, but you know what I mean. Even if you aren't getting Malgus, you don't have the Fury Class Interceptor, you're not going to get the Fury Class Interceptor. This tip is still going to be very helpful because you want to maximize your Sith Galactic Chase grind because you don't want to farm them on the hard nodes after because you know CG won't double it. And it takes forever to farm ships on hard nodes. So I want you guys to pay attention. Don't tell me, oh, well, Fury Class Interceptor, I'm not even gonna get it, LOL, pay to win game. I don't care. You can still maximize things now to make your life easier down the road, and 3 years down the road, you'll be like, oh, thanks, Arnold, for all the help. Yeah, I know. Anyways, if you want to try to get a 7-star new Sith ships, save yourself the months and years of grinding the normal ships to get the Leviathan. With all the assumptions in mind, it's roughly 5,000 crystals, give or take, to get these ships to 7 stars. And that is an incredible steal when you consider normally marquee characters cost tens of thousands of crystals. 5,000 crystals, especially with the way they kind of ration out crystals after Grand Arenas, is not hard to hoard. So if you're wanting to get your Grand Arena crystals situated, and we assume these Galactic Chase events are going to be built similarly, you probably want to keep somewhere between 10 to maybe 12,000 crystals earmarked for these Galactic Chase ships. Now again, they could drop the drop rates down. They can do so many things to throw off our expectations, but if the TIE Defender is any indication, you can get this ship for roughly 10, 12,000 crystals, which isn't too bad. Or at the minimum, try to max it out as fast as you can to 5, 6 stars. Again, my free-to-play account got nearly a 6-star TIE Defender for free. Wasn't a bad deal. Now, the next question I've been getting, Arnold, what do you think the next Sith ships are gonna be? Anyone's guess, but I feel pretty confident about one particular ship that isn't here, and it seems to be kind of one of those staple ships that we saw inside the Sith Empire lineup. As you can see here, there are a lot of ships that CG could pull from. It even references the Fury-class interceptor. Wow, what do you know? We have the Fury-class interceptor. B-28 bomber, we got that one. I feel pretty confident, though, that we're going to see this Mark 6 supremacy. I kind of pulled this one out because it was especially even called on the Wikipedia as one of like the key ships that was a part of the Sith Empire. So I would not be surprised if this is one of them. However, I will admit, I'm not too sure about the second ship. There are references to so many different ships. Fun fact, the Fury-class interceptor is considered support in the game, and it's considered support in the whole entire Sith Imperial fleet. I want to believe that because I'm very much expecting the Sith Empire Trooper to become a pilot, I'm expecting at least one more bomber, so I'm expecting any of these options right here are probably on the table. Good chance it could be this B4D Legion. So let's talk about what I think the character and ship requirements are going to be. Obviously, Fury-class interceptor is going to be needed, and those two other Sith ships, whatever they might be. But that still leaves us, what are the characters? And what are the other ships that are going to be required? So I'm just going to jump to it. I think this is likely what we're going to expect for the requirements for the characters. 7 characters here. I think, however, the biggest one that could be pulled out is Darth Malgus. We could be getting the Beskar Mando tree. Beskar Mando wasn't specifically required to get Executor, but it's kind of needed because you have to get the Razor Crest. And, of course, you want to gear up your Beskar Mando a bit more to even use the fleet. So good chance CG is not even going to put Malgus as a direct requirement, but you still need Malgus to even unlock the Fury-class interceptor. So it's still kind of needed, but I don't think they're going to be required at a relic level to use it. So I think you can easily put in Darth Malak. You can easily put in HK-47 in this particular lineup. I don't know if we're going to get a brand new Sith Empire character. That would be kind of neat. I expect the Sith Empire Trooper to pilot one of the ships, probably the Legion. I expect Bastila Shan to pilot one of the ships. Now, maybe she'll get a different ship that I didn't bring out, but kind of like the second sister who piloted the TIE Interceptor. It was kind of like, oh, okay. Or even, let's say, for example, Iden Versio piloted the TIE Defender. We're like, oh, okay. They might just throw her in a random Sith Empire ship of some sort. It's this bottom one that's more of the gotcha, especially Darth Maul and especially Sith Assassin. Darth Maul really only needed at Relic 4 for Sith Internal. CG likes to sometimes require something that'll make you bump it up a little bit more than what you had before. So Darth Maul, I think, has a very high likelihood of getting bumped up a bit. Sith Assassin, I actually recently reliced up my Sith Assassin because I've been pretty impressed with her going into a Darth Malgus lineup. Seems to make Gas's life, General Skywalker's life, a lot more complicated. And I expect this character to go up a little bit more. This is a character not a lot of people have geared up, reliced up. There wasn't really a need to. It's kind of a luxury for Darth Malgus. It's nice, not necessary, but I expect this is definitely one of those that people are going to have to be forced to upgrade. 7 ships are needed. We know Sith Fury-class interceptor is gonna be needed. Beskar Mando, Razor Crest type of situation. So that's one requirement there. 2 other ships coming. I expect those to be required. That's 3 ships right there. What are the other 4 ships? I fully expect the Sith Marauder as well as the Sith Assassin Sith Fighter to be required. So right there, that puts us at 5 ships. We're still missing out on 2 more. All right, I expect the Scimitar to be required as well. Let's put that in there. 1, 2, 3. That only puts that 6. So we're missing 1 more ship. And CG already stated in their Q&A that there's really no intention for Palpatine and Vader to work inside of the Sith Empire lineup. It seems like they want to keep them on the respected Imperial fleet. So I'm not expecting these guys to be needed. So this is where I'm kind of puzzled. I feel like I'm missing something here. So my guess is we're going to have a little bit of an oddity with the Ebon Hawk. Maybe that's too generous, though. A lot of people have Ebon Hawk already up and running, so we'll have to wait and see. I feel like there's 1 more ship we're missing. I'm only at 6. So tip number 2, there's some helpful advice here. This is going to be good no matter what. I'm not prepared to tell you what characters to relic up high, but I'm prepared to tell you what things you should probably be farming just for the sake of the Sith Empire fleet and the very high likelihood of requirements. I highly recommend start farming your Sith Empire bomber. Scimitar could be a bit elusive. Fleet Arena Store luckily could be found on fleet nodes, as well as Sith Fighter. But let's talk about the boogeyman in the room, relics. It's been bothering me and a lot of people that Darth Revan's commanding Leviathan. not Malik. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Most 9.9 out of 10 would say, if you told them blindly who pilots the commands Leviathan, oh, it's Darth Malik. They went the route of making Darth Revan. I have the answer. It doesn't take a massive brain to figure it out. So here's your answer. Darth Malik. How many folks have met Relic 9? I fully expect there's probably going to be at least 2 Relic 9 requirements at this point for this fleet. I don't think Relic 10 is going to be needed. We'll talk about that in a moment, but here's the reasoning behind why Darth Revan over Darth Malik. If you look at the numbers in general, more people have Malik reliced up Relic 9. Take a look at how many Relic 9s we have for Darth Malik. Over 1,000. Definitely small in the grand scheme of things. Compared to Darth Revan, who's only about a third at Relic 9 compared to Darth Malik. CG, when they're making requirements, they're looking at, all right, what's kind of reasonable, so they don't get mad at us for lore purposes, but where can we also squeeze extra relic materials? That right there alone, that's 700 folks compared to Malik that don't have a Relic 9, and that's a lot of Relic 9 materials just right there in that gap between Malik and Revan. I'm pretty sure that's the main reasoning behind it. It annoys me, but it's a spreadsheet answer, not a lore answer. And what they're ultimately trying to shoot for is something like this, where Admiral Piet and Radis are the most Relic 9 characters in the entire game, with 42,000 people having Admiral Radis at Relic 9 and about half of that for Admiral Piet. This is what they want. And lastly, I want to talk about why I think Relic 10 is not going to be a requirement. So I'll put it out there first. Relic 10 is pure speculation at this point. We have a new Crate Dragon raid right around the corner. We don't know what the rewards are. Just in general, when you're designing a game, especially a mobile game, you want to make sure there's incentive to play it besides just, oh, this is cool. You want to give them something to grind for. Probably a new character, new Mando, Cobb Vanth. We don't know. But more importantly, every single raid has introduced a new exclusive gear, going all the way back to the original Rancor raid. I expect this to be nothing different. Since we don't have any more gear tiers, it's all relic tiers. I expect the Relic 10s right around the corner, and I hope it's like the little crate pearl. I think that'd be really cool, at least thematic for a paywall thing. But the reason why I'm saying that is, again, there always could be a first. When we go back to the Profundity and Executor, Executor introduced Relic 8 requirements for the ship. We got Relic 8 in 2020. Piet's capital ship came out in 2021. So roughly a yearish after Relic 8 was required for Piet. Okay. Looking at Profundity, Relic 9 was introduced in 2021. The Profundity became available in 2022, so roughly a year later. I expect Leviathan probably going to be sometime accessible inside of this summer. If they introduce Relic 10 with this Crate Dragon raid, that's not about a year. I expect 9 to 12 months before they start requiring Relic 10 specifically for anything. I could be wrong. I could be naive. But I want to believe instead of asking for Relic 10, they're going to ask for 2 Relic 9s. And I fully expect Darth Revan to be required at Relic 9. I would say don't do it yet. Let's wait and see. But that's my speculation. And I expect 1 other Relic 9 somewhere else. I don't think they're going to ask for a Relic 9 Darth Malgus, because if you're already getting Malgus, you want to have a high Relic 9 Malgus. They want to get a Relic 9 on something relatively, I don't want to say useless, but something that doesn't need Relic 9. Long story short, I'd say don't relic up anything until we see what the actual requirements are, but I do suspect a Relic 9 Darth Revan at minimum. I don't think it's a bad idea. If you want to get the Leviathan, you're on track to getting Malgus's Fury Interceptor pretty early. Congratulations. It's definitely a grind, definitely a tough challenge to do so. And at the minimum, maybe start farming the Scimitar, Sith Fighter, Sith Bomber, and maybe getting those characters the 7 stars if you want to start working on something right now. Leave that like, comment down below. What do you think your thoughts are on the new ships, the relic requirements, the character requirements, or how is your day going? Because that's the most important thing. But I know it's great for you because it's great to be in the Empire today. Oh, it's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets. We dominate. We're stronger together. 25-8. Oh, it's great to be in the end.